My talk is called caesar.js, and there might not be, well, there's going to be some JavaScript, but it's primarily going to be about a great cocktail called the Caesar, which is a Canadian thing, and I'm Canadian, so I thought I'd talk about it. Up at the front here, Andrew Lunny, who is just giving a presentation. He'll actually be making Caesars for anyone that's interested while I'm giving the talk. And so he can demonstrate actually for you if you want to see what it's all about. Hey? Virgin Caesars. Yeah. So anyhow, my name's Dave Johnson from a company called Natobi in Vancouver, Canada. I work on PhoneGap, and I'm rather hungover right now. So does anybody have any good hangover cures? Anyone? I don't know. Maybe like a voodoo donut with bacon on top. That might be a good hangover cure. Oftentimes when I'm hungover like this, though, I like to ask myself, what would Don Draper do? And I'm pretty sure he'd do this. So, as I mentioned, I'm from Canada. Caesars are a Canadian thing. It's essentially a Bloody Mary, as people in the rest of the world, America in particular, I guess, will know. It's essentially a Bloody Mary, except for it's got one special ingredient. So there's a Bloody Mary, or a Caesar. Can't really tell, it's sort of red though. So you start off with tomato juice, and obviously it's just like a Bloody Mary, but you add the one secret ingredient, which is clam nectar. So when you mix tomato juice and clam nectar, you get something called clamato juice. I was actually thinking of like bringing some real clams and making some clam nectar, but I decided not. And so in Canada, we have something called Mott's Clamato, which is pre-mixed clam nectar and tomato juice. And you can get some right up here. There, Steve's holding up a nice bottle. We got like 6 liters of it we brought down. I'm surprised they didn't take it away at the border. So the whole idea of this came about from some dude in Canada, and he was eating, I can't pronounce what dish is, but it's some sort of spaghetti dish that's clams and spaghetti, so it's obviously tomato sauce and clams. And he was like, wow, tomato sauce and clams taste fucking awesome, so I'm gonna make a drink out of it. I'm pretty sure this guy was a drunkard as well. So he actually lived in the fine city of Calgary, where the Calgary Flames play hockey, who are not in the playoffs at the moment. And it was invented back in 1969, the same year that the Gap was founded. Coincidence? Probably. So, this actually, Mott's Clamato, there's like this weird collective consciousness shit going on as well, because the Mott's company, they actually invented Mott's Clamato that same year. Coincidence? See, that's collective consciousness shit right there. So they actually sold, I think, 500 cases of Mott's Clamato in 1970, like across Canada. So, yeah, totally weird. And now today there are 350 million Caesars consumed yearly in Canada. And just to give you a scale, I mean that's about like 10 Caesars per person per year. So one every, 20% of your weekends you're drinking a Caesar in Canada. So the recipe. Like I said, Andrew, my man right here, who did our amazing Hangover JS talk right then, he's actually making some drinks for us. And I'm just drinking Clamato. Clam nectar. So the recipe, 6 ounces of Clamato juice, 1.5 ounces, or 1 to 1.5 ounces of vodka. I prefer 2, but you know. 2 dashes of hot sauce, 4 dashes of Worcestershire. I believe that's the right pronunciation, Andrew? 4 dashes of Worcester sauce, celery salt, and let me tell you, I could not find that at the grocery store last night. Freshly ground pepper. Actually, I couldn't get vodka last night either because I didn't have my passport with me, which apparently you don't need it to get into the country, but you need it to buy alcohol. Not that we don't have alcohol. Fresh ground pepper, and a lime wedge, of course, you need that. So what you do is you actually take the lime wedge, and Andrew's doing this right now, you cut it and you actually run it around the rim of the glass to get some liquid on there. You have your salt in a little basket, and you put the glass upside down in there, get some salt on there, throw in your ice, throw in your dashes of hot sauce, your Worcester sauce, your Clamato, and your vodka, stir it up, add a piece of celery, or you could also add green beans or any other, like a lot of pickled stuff is always good in there. And then pretty much you're in like hangover heaven. Yeah, there you go. One crisp celery stalk. So also my celery is limp. The celery I bought yesterday, I mean, it's limp because it sat out overnight. So it doesn't have quite the same effect today, but at any rate, it'll still work for the hangover, I think. So some people will insist on replacing the vodka with either rum, tequila, or gin. Whoa. Hello. There we go. Oh my God. Yeah, so fuck that. That's crazy. It has to be vodka. So others, however, will use things like Tim Hortons coffee grounds around the top of the cup. To that I say fuck yeah. Or bacon-infused vodka. Yeah, that's got to be tasty in there. Or maple syrup. Hey, being from Canada, who wouldn't love maple syrup? So that's full-on buy winning right there. Yeah, I mean, if you added maple syrup, bacon-infused vodka, and Tim Hortons coffee grounds to a Caesar, that's got to be pretty much the best drink ever. That's a hangover buster right there. And Andrew looks like he's pretty much got his first Caesar. Oh man, look at that. Perfect timing. Oh. Okay. Look at that. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, so that's perfect timing, Andrew. It's as if we like planned that or something. Okay, I'm still very hungover. It'll take a minute here. But now I'm going to actually talk about a little bit of JavaScript because it's sort of interesting stuff, I guess. And something that, it's a little library that we're sort of just coming up with, I guess. It's sort of put in the first commit like 5 minutes ago. And it's just something called High5. And it sort of stands for HTML5, and it's meant to be a sane wrapper to HTML5 APIs. So we all do love web standards, right? W3C, way to go, you're doing an awesome job. We need that stuff. However, the sad part is that most of those APIs look like shit. So I'm gonna go over 3 of the APIs in particular that are getting better, but still suck and need to be wrapped in a library such as High5. So, Exhibit A, navigator.geolocation.watchPosition, win, fail, options. Right, so watch position. I'm sure a lot of you will know what this does. It calls back to your win handler whenever there is an update to your position. So it looks a lot like an event handler, actually. Am I right? I mean, we all know how to use event handlers. So I don't know why they didn't think of doing it like this, maybe. Do document, even whatever, it could be device or something better than navigator.geolocation.watchPosition. You could do document.addEventListener, location, your handler, and some options. So pretty much just like, using addEventListener. Wouldn't that be something? So the idea then with High5 would be something more like this. And this ideally would be chainable and so on and so forth, and using all the good JavaScript stuff that we who actually write JavaScript know and love. Yeah, so something like this. High5 on location and a handler. Oh, it's getting better. And the handler could, it could handle your error state and your success state, rather than having to pass in your 2 separate handlers for win and fail. So this is sort of the proposition that High5 would, or the API that High5 would create. And this sort of works right now, but I think this is the only thing that works, and even then it probably doesn't. I do have one passing test, I think. And then the other thing would be doing High5.un, so you could unsubscribe to your location event. So right now, you would do navigator.geolocation.clearwatch, I think, and you pass in your shit, and it's silly. Then you also have things in geolocation like get current position. So you want to get your one position, and that's it. So a simple way of doing that would be something like this, high5.1, where rather than doing on, where it continually sends back your location to your handler, high5.1 would instead essentially auto-unsubscribe. So it would subscribe it. Once it gets back to the first location position, then it would auto-unsubscribe itself. So this is equivalent to doing get current position in the geolocation example. OK, exhibit B. Has no one come up for a Caesar yet? This is terrible. I can't believe it, Andrew. I'm selling it really good, I think. So exhibit B, device motion. So someone somewhere actually came up with a bit better idea in device motion. So device motion is essentially your accelerometer. In PhoneGap itself, we went and, because we were implementing these things a long time ago, we actually did it like the geolocation case, and we did navigator.accelerometer get current acceleration or watch acceleration. It's super ugly stuff. So in the latest, for example, mobile Safari, they support this, and this is in the W3C. Device motion is your accelerometer. So hey, this is good. Looks like an event, right? Window.onDevice motion. Much better. But what's inside of it? Your event object has something called acceleration including gravity.x. That's insane. Screw that. It's just crazy. So they were going really well, but then they fuck it up. So why not just do this? I don't know. A lot fewer characters. We just do high5.on motion, so we don't even need the device stuff either. I mean, I think we're getting to a point where that's sort of implied. Like, what else are you thinking of when you want document.motion or device.motion? So anyway, get rid of that. Don't add on like device motion change or device motion different from the previous motion value. Don't do stuff like that. Keep it as simple as possible. Get your event.x, y, and z. OK, exhibit C. Good stuff. Device orientation. This is similar to device motion. It's a bit long as well. Could be better if it's just orientation. And then the awesome part here is in the event object, we have e.beta, e.gamma, and e.alpha. Who knows what those are? Well, obviously it's this. Come on. And bless his heart, Euler, he was a smart dude. I love what he did for that stuff. I should really know this. I like do physics or something. But anyway, Euler's awesome. But really, come on. We're JavaScript developers. We don't want to know what alpha, beta, and gamma are. So let's just do X, Y, and Z orientation. So you can check it out here, github.com, high5. A lot of people are showing like this sweet spot graph for some reason in some of the presentations. So I was like, oh, well, here's my sweet spot. So high5 is total winning in JavaScript. Crockford's mostly JavaScript. Charlie Sheen's mostly winning. Clam Nectar is neither. And then, yes, of course, I bought the airline. Other APIs in need, media, file system, system info, persistence. So all of these are horribly disgusting APIs in W3C. We should wrap those, keep the underlying APIs going with W3C. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. But yeah, make a higher level API on there that's actually usable in our apps. Thank you very much.